fire, energy, grace, and a lot of beauty. Let's look in.
For the last week and a half, the Olympic Sports Complex here in Moscow has been the site of gymnastics competition. We've had artistic and rhythmic gymnastics. Well, today we're going to show you something of a different variety, something you're going to really enjoy. It is not a competition. There's no judging. There's no scoring whatsoever. It is strictly an exhibition. We'll see artistic gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics, trampoline acts, and acrobats. And it's a continuing show of goodwill between the United States and the Soviet Union. And Kathy Johnson, some top acts performing today.
Charlie, you really said it all. We're going to say great gymnastics in all areas, but the key element is fun. We're going to have a lot of fun.
See both our men and our women.
I think it's exciting to see the gymnasts will be in a very relaxed situation. They can kind of cut loose and have fun, but as we mentioned earlier, we're going to see some unusual things. We're going to see trampoline acts. We're going to see some unbelievable acrobatics and power tumbling, and I'm especially excited about seeing a parallel bar routine, a double parallel bar routine.
Okay, Bart Connor, let's get into it right now. We're starting with the rings, and the young man you're looking at is Artemov of the Soviet Union, Vladimir Artemov. Quite a competitor. We saw him in the competition, and here he is working on the rings right now, Bart.
It's going to be a great show today, as you mentioned at the top, that we're going to see some of this style of gymnastics, artistic gymnastics, and actually competitive style routines. We're also going to see some exhibition style routines, which in many cases are completely different.
And all of the acts will be backed with music, which is something we don't normally hear in competition.
Artemov is such an elegant swinger. Beautiful giant swings, both backward and frontward, and a nice laid-out double back.
We saw him in the all-around competition in which he won a bronze medal, but behind his countrymen Korolev and Mogilny, as you see some of the rhythmic gymnasts warming up along the sideline, and we look at part of Artemov's routine again.
There's a beautiful inverted iron cross. Whip it to an L.
Yolanda Mavity of the United States getting ready to work on the uneven bars.
This exhibition is really a great opportunity for Yolanda. She was our alternate for this competition, so she didn't get to compete. She'll get this chance to perform in front of the Soviet crowd. The Delchev. Stalled her to handstands, giant swing, and the dismount, front with a half.
Oh, very nice. Yolanda Mavity. Tarasenko and Stepchenkov of the Soviet Union acrobats.
Work. A one-arm straddled, pressed to a handstand, and then lowered back down and pressed back up.
Barty makes that look so easy.
You know what is so incredible about this is that, oh, look at that, a one-armed lever. All the gymnasts, and artistic gymnasts as well as rhythmic gymnasts, can really appreciate the amount of strength and the amount of balance that these acrobats have to have. This is a very special act. It's not like just any gymnast can walk in and do a one-arm handstand on somebody's head. It takes a great deal of training.
It's hard to do a one-arm handstand, period, much less with somebody under you, right?
This is a lot of fun for the gymnasts to see other types of their sport.
Oh, what a good move. That was just like a Diamondov on the parallel bars. Of course, his parallel bars are his lower man's two arms. That's all he's got to work with.
Wow. Right to a plan.
Yurchenko and Strazheva, Soviet Union acrobats, and we'll be back with more of our Goodwill Games coverage in just a moment.
Чемпионка мира в командном перье.
Natalia Yurchenko, working on the balance beam.
She's one of the most beautiful gymnasts I've ever seen.
21 years of age, lives in Rostov-on-Don, which is about 600 miles south of Moscow.
She's truly the veteran of the Soviet team. In fact, she was competing while I was competing.
Way back then, Kathy?
Oh, Bart. That handspring layout step out done perfectly.
She was the '83 world champion, and in the finals, the event finals in that same competition, had a disastrous fall from the vault and actually did some serious ligament damage to her knee. She seems to have recovered beautifully, and she is one of the more sensual performers because there's an elegance and a smooth, flowing drama to her exercise.
One she has made very popular. The back dive into a back hip circle around the beam.
About 11 years ago, she started training at the same school which produced Lyudmila Turisheva.
Dismount, a double back. Well done.
Natalia Yurchenko on the balance beam. Fine performance from her. Elena Shushunova, Soviet Union, 4 golds, 2 silvers in the competition, had 3 golds in the apparatus final. As she's working the uneven bars, this is one of the events in which she won a gold medal.
She also scored a perfect 10 in the team competition on this event.
17 years of age.
Bart, she does those release moves just like the men do on high bar.
She is unbelievably strong in the upper body. I think that gives her a great deal of advantage here. Another very, very nice exercise.
Elena Shushunova, who's thrilled us over the last couple of days here. Igor Bogachev, Master of Sport International Class, 2-time world champ, 4-time European champ, and Soviet champ. Camera right under the tramp, huh?
This is unbelievable. Every move is at least a full twisting double back, many times full twisting triple backs, and in that case, a laid out double twisting double back.
That was Igor Bogachev working on the trampoline. Now we have 2 more trampoline routines. Igor Gemelepatovsky and Sergei Nestrelite, Master Sport International Class, World, European, and Soviet champs.
Now this is interesting because this is a synchronized routine. Hopefully, they will be doing the same skill at exactly the same moment. Let's see if we can catch that. Oh! One of them went flying off. I hate when that happens.
Oh, God.
You've been waiting for a week to get that line in. And you finally did.
So, needless to say, there is no synchronized element in this routine whatsoever.
This is Igor Bogachev and Vadim Kraschoskopka, 2-time world champ, 4-time European champ, and Soviet champ.
Now this looks like another one of those synchronized routines. Let's see how close these 2 trampolinists can stay. Beautiful work on a triffus, half-in Rudy out, pike Rudy out.
What? Bart, what would be hard for me is staying in the middle of the trampoline.
While you're doing all the most difficult elements in the world. Beautiful. Lift. Excellent exercise.
Igor and Vadim on the trampoline, and some of our American gymnasts looking on, enjoying the exhibition here from the women's team. This is Lilia Ivanova, World Cup medalist, European and Soviet champ. Exhibitions are fun, though, aren't they? Lilia Ivanova. Vadim Khrushchevka, two-time world champ, four-time European champ. He's also the Soviet champ.
Now, this should be amazing because he's going to get an unbelievable amount of height before he begins his exercise and try to maintain nearly all of that height throughout the exercise. A triple front with a half turn. Triple with a full. Triple with a half.
So you really have to know where you are at all times, don't you?
They have tremendous spatial awareness and orientation. Oh, fantastic. A half in, 2.5 out.
See why he's the two-time world and four-time European champ, Vadim Khrushchevka. And we'll continue with our exhibition. At the University of Minnesota, and he's coached by Fred Roethlisberger. That's Marie Roethlisberger's father.
Boy, and he did a great move right at the beginning of the exercise there. To stall into a reverse hex. And a very simple tuck double back.
Colin Godkin, Minneapolis. Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now a student at the University of Minnesota, working on the high bar. This is Alexei Tikhonki from Bukacha, the Soviet Union.
He's going to incorporate a little bit of his own acrobatics in today's performance, a one-armed handstand, which he normally doesn't do in his competitive routine. But, of course, that is a Diamidov, invented by famous Soviet gymnast, Diamidov. Nice tuck double back.
Alexander Tikhonki. See, the root of his name means the quiet one. Well, he's quite a performer when he gets on the floor. On the floor exercise, Yelena Shevchenko, 14 years of age.
And Bart, you remember this floor routine from the competition. This is one of our favorites.
The young lady managed to win a silver medal on the vault in the apparatus final.
1.5 twists due to a double tuck. Great music, especially for an exhibition. A whip to another double back. One of the new Soviet stars. I think she's going to be one to reckon with later on.
Only with the Pink Panther music and that red hair. She's got it.
Another double back.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yurchenko has been a member of the national team since she was 12 years of age, since 1984.
Чемпион игр доброй воли в упражнении на коне Валентин Могильny, Советский Союз.
Valentin Mogilny on the pommel horse.
We saw Mogilny perform this exercise a couple of times this week. He had terrible problems in the all-around competition where he made a major mistake and actually gave up his challenge of challenging for the all-around title against Yuri Korolev.
But he came back in the apparatus finals and won a gold medal on the pommel horse. There he is, Valentin Mogilny. Again, some acrobats. Men's pairs, Sergei Chergevsky and Valery Lukninov.
1984 и 1985 года Сергей Чижевский, Валерий Епунов, Советский Союз.
Wow. Right up to a one-arm handstand.
A perfect straddle plunge.
Simultaneous full twisting dive rolls.
Oh, look at that. The strength.
Wow. How'd you like somebody doing a handstand on your neck while you did a straddle plunge, Kathy?
Oh, wow.
Talking about whiplash, huh?
Do some amazing things, but do it so easily.
And to keep the form of the body and the move so slowly and being able to do it with such precision shows the skill and the strength of these acrobats. Sergei Chergevsky.
Мастер спорта международного класса.
The tradition. I mean, it was almost as if they were telling the story of the Soviet people. And of course, I have to focus in on the gymnastics. And what we saw there explains why they're so good in our sport. Tiny gymnasts out there doing incredible things, all synchronized, perfectly together, but more importantly, taking pride in what they're doing. Sometimes in the States, it's hard enough to get that group of kids, that many kids, sitting together, paying attention that long, much less perfecting those things. And it just gave me such a good feeling to see all that pride.
So things got off to a rousing start. Part of the intrigue going into the games was who would put an extra bit of energy and effort.
Well, I think an event like this, when you have surrounding you the best athletes in the world, I think you kind of rally to the occasion, and sometimes you do more than maybe what you have done in practice.
So you extend yourself.
Oh, I think without a doubt. And, you know, especially in a sport like gymnastics, it's a very closed sport at the top of the international levels. so many times we as commentators talk about the great athletes being like machines. You wind them up, they go out, especially the Soviets, because they are awesome. And they step up with no expression and seem to just crank through their exercises time and time again. But I don't think very many of us will forget Oksana Omelyanchik, who was making her bid for the all-around championship here. She fell off the uneven bars and, of course, fought back the tears until she finally gave in to those tears. And I think all of us realized at that point that she's not a machine. She's just a little girl. And I think that's important to note.
Kathy?
I think what's really important to note as well is after they make the mistakes that they might not do as well as they hope, they come back out there the next day and they give it their all. There's also another motivation. It's not just the medals and the scores, but these top athletes, they do it for themselves, for a feeling. And you see that all the time. Shushunova really made 2 major mistakes in the all-around competition. Came back the following night and won 3 gold medals.
Has anybody competed in the Soviet Union?
I haven't.
The team all-around competition where I got a 9.85, and for me that was great on rings. That wasn't so great on the rings. And I remember hearing about 4 people out of 18,000 clapping like, yeah, nice job, American, you know.
Oh, you heard us.
I heard you guys. Thanks for being there. You know, I'll pay you later. But you know, the interesting thing about this event was that regardless of what country the athlete was from, they were getting equal support from the crowd.
Did you find that possession? Thank you very much. Kathy Johnson.
Well, what I will always remember is watching the athletes after they've achieved something so great, because being so close to, you know, I just retired, remembering back to what it feels like to stand up on the victory stand or to achieve something you've trained so long for. I could feel that with them, that they were cherishing the moment, and it's like they were saying to themselves, I'll remember this always. But then I'd look deeper into their eyes, and I was fortunate to, while covering gymnastics, I could look down at the monitor so I could see a close-up of the face, and I'd look into their eyes, and in the young ones you could see hunger, like they were imagining, I want this to happen again in 1988, in 1990, the next Goodwill Games. And then in some of the older veterans, kind of reflection, looking back on all the years of hard work and sometimes wondering, oh gosh, can I do this again? Yeah. But it was such a neat feeling to be able to share that with them, except from the other side of the camera.
Bart.
Certainly the Soviet athletes in gymnastics were dominant, and in fact they all but gave us a clinic on how to do gymnastics. But I thought that in this competition, different from some of the Olympics that I participated in and some of the World Championship competitions, that it seemed like there was a little less emphasis on who was first, on who wins. I got the impression that there was a goodwill feeling among the athletes, and certainly in a sport like gymnastics, our optimum goal is the perfect 10, not necessarily first, second, or third place. You all would like to do your best. There's nothing that I can do if Yuri Korolev's out on parallel bars. I can't go tackle him or go wrestle him and get 2 points back. He has to shoot for a 10, and I do as well. And certainly in a sport like gymnastics, it's nice to see that camaraderie and respect for each other. And yet I didn't find that there was that the crucial thing wasn't winning this time. I thought it was participating.
We could all appreciate a good meal regardless of who cooks it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess. Charlie.
Well, first of all, if you watch the opening ceremonies,
it does, and I think that probably is a very important point, that here we got it off to a good start. The athletes now will realize that the Goodwill Games are a legitimate international competition, like the Olympics, of course. And I think that for the future of the Goodwill Games, it should be outstanding, because everybody will say, if you want to be one of the top performers, you need to have collected a medal from the Goodwill Games.
Kathy?
It's a perfect time to have a major international competition, because a lot of times right after the Olympic Games you have all your top guns, your older athletes retiring. It takes a couple of years to get going again and to rebuild that team. So to have a major competition there, it kind of sets them up, prepares them for the Olympic Games.
One of my sports was team handball, a sport that
gymnastics group of 6 young ladies. We won't call all of their names for you.
This is one of the most beautiful aspects of rhythmic gymnastics, the group routine.
And they're working with the rhythm, with the ribbon.
Beautiful high scale, all together. beautiful sport. It's hard to see that a lot of the moves they do are so difficult.
We're looking at rhythmic gymnastics, and we talked about how new rhythmic gymnastics is in the United States. It wasn't even recognized till recently as an Olympic sport. It just became an Olympic event in the '84 Olympics in Los Angeles. In fact, they changed its name from rhythmic gymnastics to rhythmic sportive gymnastics. That's the new name given to it. You just saw a group, 6 young ladies performing a rhythmic gymnastics routine.
Бронзовый призер международного турнира 1986 года в Румынии. 8-е место в многоборье в чемпионате Соединенных Штатов Америки 1986 года. Том Шлессингер, Соединенные Штаты Америки.
Tom Schlesinger from Boulder, Colorado on the parallel bars.
Tom competes for the University of Nebraska's gymnastics team. Tom is relatively new to the international gymnastics scene, so I'd really like to see him perform well here. He's actually one of the more promising gymnasts I think we have in the United States right now, because he's able to do all of the important, difficult elements, and yet he has nice line, a very clean execution.
Has been a national team member for the last year.
Great work on a pike double somersault for a dismount.
Tom Schlesinger, a student at the University of Nebraska from Boulder, Colorado.
Соединенных Штатов Америки 1985 года. Hope Spivey, Соединенные Штаты Америки.
Hope Spivey of the United States. Here she is working on the floor exercise.
We've said it again and again, but this girl is spunky. She's got so much fire when she competes. A double twist.
Her music is excellent.
It's perfect for her. Last tumbling run. A double back. Well done.
Hope Spivey, 9th grader at Drexel Middle School in Allentown, Pennsylvania, working the floor exercise in our gymnastics exhibition.
Чемпионы Советского Союза, обладатели Кубка Советского Союза, Евгений Марченко и Миллер.
Mixed pairs acrobats. Nellie Miller, Eugene Marchenko.
perfect body control. Double front.
Do a 1 3/4 back spike. That was great. What a nice combination. They're actually a perfect team together because, as you mentioned, she has a very small and perfectly aligned body for doing the delicate balance moves, and yet this guy is a horse. He can throw her
and strong.
Catch her anywhere he wanted to throw her.
Mixed pairs, acrobats Nellie Miller and Eugene Marchenko.
Призер международных турниров, мастер спорта Дмитрий Vorobiev, Советский Союз.
Dmitry Vorobiev. This is Dmitry Vorobiev on the high bar.
Oh, what a nice move. You know, he was one of the alternate performers for the Soviet team here, and we didn't get to see that move in competition, or that one. He did a reverse X to a mixed grip, right to a Delchev. Beautiful combination of release moves. I'm so glad we got to see him in this exhibition because we didn't get to see this outstanding exercise. Oh, a little over rush hand on the triple back. Luckily, it's an exhibition and not a competition.
Thank you, hurt you, huh? Olga Strazheva. Floor exercise, has been on the Soviet national team for a year. She's 14 years of age.
This is a really great routine. His first pass, a double front.
She made it this time, didn't she?
Tumbles right out of it. An Arabian 1 3/4 somersault.
We saw her do this routine in the team competition, but unfortunately she didn't make it to the all-around finals or the event finals, so it's great to have a chance to see this exercise again.
A whip through to a double tuck. This routine is just packed full of difficulty. Beautiful body and arm movement. For such a young girl, she's got so much expression. Last coming pass. And a double tuck. Really a great routine.
Olga Strazheva. Floor exercise. Alexei Tikhonki on the high bar from Bukachacha in the Soviet Union.
a very strong performer. I don't think he has the elegant lines that some of the other Soviet athletes do, but he sure knows how to do all the big tricks. What a nice combination of a reverse X to a Ginger. There's the dismount, triple back.
Whoop.
No problem.
Well, a lot of carpet down there, huh? That was Alexei Tikhonki, and more gymnastics exhibition in a moment. And acrobatics, and we're going to really enjoy this one, I'll tell you.
This should be outrageous.
Yes, it is. Got a chance to watch them warm up a little bit, and I'll tell you, they really excite you. You wonder how they do some of the things that they do, such as that.
You know, the top man only did a backflip. Oh, look at that. 1.5 front pipe to a handstand.
With such grace, like he's stepping off of an escalator, right?
And they have no problem throwing this little guy around.
But you always notice the little guy is always the one on top.
Oh, what work. The 1.5 twist right to his shoulder stand.
What you call having a lot of faith in your fellow man.
Standing out. Double front with a half twist.
Acrobatics in our exhibition here at the Goodwill Games, the final day. Joyce Wilborn of the United States from Paterson, New Jersey, won a bronze, the only medal that the United States managed to pick up in the gymnastics competition. She won a bronze on the vault and just missed a bronze on this routine, the floor exercise. She missed by only 5/100ths of a point.
And this routine always proves to be a crowd favorite. Double tuck.
And some of the American girls are watching.
There's Alyssa Solomon, Jennifer Say, Joe Yamashiro, then Jennifer Say, Angie Jenkins, Marie Roethlisberger, and Yolanda Mavity.
Front tuck through to double twist.
Joyce is always having a good time out there on the floor. In fact, she was presented an award yesterday because she had such tremendous charisma and a beautiful smile. The award was presented by Crocodile Magazine's international editor.
Double twist.
Joyce Wilborn from John F. Kennedy High in Paterson, New Jersey. The American team enjoyed her performance as well as the Soviet audience.
Here's a replay of that double twist.
You're looking at Yuri Korolev, Soviet Union top gymnast working the high bar.
Korolev does a one arm to a reverse hex. Nice roll to an inverted giant swing.
He has to be the steadiest performer I've ever seen.
Once again, a beautiful laid out double back, and nobody lands them better.
Yuri Korolev.
Акробатические прыжки составляют часть всех гимнастических упражнений на ковре. С каждым годом программа усложняется, а законодательным является акробатика.
What a beautiful dismount. He really climbs into the air on that second layout backflip. And you can tell today, because it is an exhibition, we have a few extra mats around to protect the gymnasts on the landing.
What we're about to see now is a group of acrobats. About 7 of them, 4 females and 3 males, and they're going to, I think, use that runway that's right in front of us.
This is without a doubt one of the neatest parts of this exhibition, because we're going to see a demonstration in power tumbling. And all of us artistic gymnasts who can do double backs and full twisting double backs have an unbelievable amount of appreciation for the level of acrobatic skills that these athletes have, because they do all of those moves and many, many more.
Well, we lost that one young lady. Here they come. That runway has a lot of spring in it, doesn't it?
Well, as a matter of fact, that runway, as you know, they're all doing so powerful back handsprings, back flips, back tucks and pulls. The runway is actually a whole series of skis, actual snow skis, that are laid side by side, and they're sort of braced with some metal braces so that the skis are taut. And if they tumble, they can get a tremendous amount of spring when they flex the skis and then take off into the air.
They also are allowed to run much farther than we are in the floor exercise, so they can get some incredible power going.
The floor exercise combines a lot of these skills we see right here. Tumbling skills.
Now look at that. Beautiful pike double somersault. She is strong. We're going to see them working out, actually tumbling out of those moves. Fantastic flip-flop to an easy layout double back. Triple twist.
It's just about a standing round-off double back.
Look at the speed they can generate. Laid out double backflip, flip-flop, tuck double back. Wouldn't you love to be able to do that? The Soviet power tumblers are actually the strongest tumblers in the world, but we have had some very outstanding tumblers from the U.S., and one of our greatest is actually Steve Elliott, a good friend of ours and many times world champion tumbling.
Her hands weren't even touching the floor there a couple times.
Those are called whip back.
American team watching.
Full twisting double back. They take at least 7 or 8 running steps.
Oh, continuous motion.
I just try and land double back. They tumble out of them.
Triple twisting double back. It's a laid out position.
But he lost the test for his landing.
Go
I
ahead.
gave it back to him.
Watch this one.
Look at the tremendous speed. Triple back.
Oh! But being a tumbler, he recovered. I would have been in the ambulance.
Incredible tumbling.
Round off back handspring. And another triple. Over-rotated again.
Plus, he's got a little higher back there than he probably is used to coming down on.
And a double side.
This guy's almost off the runway. It's going to be a double whammy here.
Double layout. Perfectly together.
These guys are more hot dogs than artistic gymnastics. You give them a crowd and they'll go all day.
The acrobats do their thing. Our exhibition continues.
Before this month,
Bill Cahoy and a bunch of American and Soviet gymnasts as we go down to the final wire of our exhibition here at the Olympic Sports Complex. This is going to be a series of dismounts on the high bar and all the different types of dismounts you may see during a competition, but this is an exhibition.
And all of us agree that the dismounts are the most exciting part of gymnastics. So what we thought we would have here is a demonstration. That's Artemov doing a double somersault with a full twist.
Tim Daggett.
Not only the most spectacular part of the sport of gymnastics, the high bar dismounts, but to tell you the truth, they're the most fun for these athletes, so that's why you get 8 of them out there who are willing to go and perform dismounts for you. There's a laid-out double somersault by Tim Daggett. This is Mogilny, Valentin Mogilny. Nice, clean giant swings. And a double full out. A back-in double twist out.
Bill Cahoy.
Bill does an unusual dismount because he does it out of inverted giant swings. Notice here, he's going to pick up speed, let go, double front with a half twist, perfect landing. Original dismount.
This is a dismount exhibition. Soviet and American gymnasts showing you the different dismounts from the high bar.
Vorobiev, a perfect triple back. Many times in the gymnastics practice situation, you'll find that 8 or 9 gymnasts will all get together, go over to the high bar, and just start cutting dismounts just for the heck of it to see who could do the toughest dismount the best.
Just like basketball players warming up with the slam dunk, huh?
Exactly. Korolev does his famous laid-out double back flip.
Alex Takonski.
We saw him perform a high bar routine earlier. He probably does one of the easiest triple backs in the world. It seems like it's very simple for him to pull it all the way around and drop out of the landing.
Your little friend.
Yurchenko. Easy on a triple back.
And a lot of amplitude there coming off the bar. So the high bar exhibition between the Soviet Union and the United States is they continue their show of goodwill here at the Goodwill Games, the final day. for 3 days, we have seen Oksana Omelyanchik perform her floor exercise. For 3 days, we have loved it. We're going to give you another day of it. We never get tired of it. She won a silver medal in the apparatus finals on the floor.
Facial expression is just perfect. Nice double pipe. But this is where she shines. And the audience loves her as well. If this music wasn't written for it, it should have been. Double twist, punch front. She tumbles back the other direction to a round off 1.5 twisting dive roll. Never loses that smile. Last tumbling run, double twist.
Oksana Omelyanchik. As our exhibition here at the Goodwill Games of Gymnastics comes to a close, let's watch a part of her routine once again, Kathy.
Here we go. Double twist. It's her last tumbling run.
Well, Kathy and Bart, we've been here for a while. We've had a week and a half of gymnastics competitions, rhythmic and artistic, men and women's competition in artistic gymnastics. Let's go back. First of all, Kathy, you started out with the rhythmic gymnastics. Summarize the coverage that we had there and what we saw.
Well, the Soviets definitely dominated in rhythmic gymnastics. Tatiana Gutinina scored perfect 10s throughout the entire competition. Lobas was second, and third was a Bulgarian, Filipova. And they were all such beautiful gymnasts.
Let's talk about the United States' future in rhythmic gymnastics. It's a relatively new sport as far as the United States is concerned.
It is, and I think they learned a lot from this competition. They got to share with the world's best. They saw exactly what they're trying to achieve. They're going to go back home, put in a lot of work.
Okay, after 2 days of rhythmic, we started with the men's gymnastics. Bart Connor, again, the Soviets proved their strength, but your impressions?
Without a doubt, the Soviets demonstrated. In fact, they all but gave a clinic to the rest of the world on how to do the sport of gymnastics. Yuri Korolev is the strongest competitor mentally I've ever seen, and I think that shows proof why he dominated this competition. Mogilny, I believe, Valentin Mogilny is probably the best gymnast in the world, and we certainly hope that he will continue to prove that he is technically superior to all the other gymnasts. We've had fantastic crowds, wonderful people supporting these gymnasts, and I think the U.S. team, when they go back home, they really have to take a long, hard look at what the Soviets do to be the best. They have a wonderful system here of bringing the gymnasts along from the very early stages up through championship levels. And I know we work very hard in the U.S., but I'm afraid we're going to need to work just a little bit harder.
Well, you talk about schools over here. They have sports schools in which classes are put around the gymnastics or the athlete's sports schedule. As we look at a good crowd that's on hand here for this final day, this exhibition.